Hi, everybody. Welcome to the basics of bookkeeping for Lady Boss. My name is Gina Haber. I just spoke short time ago, about how important it is to have your bookkeeping done. What I'm going to show you is an example of QuickBooks online. Okay, I'm going to see if I can make the screen a little bigger for you. And that's what it looks like. Okay, so if you could take a look here, this is QuickBooks Online. Let me tell you, it made a difference in my life. I used to travel up and down the Jersey Turnpike, if you're in the New Jersey area, constantly to go to clients, and I'd be traveling 300 miles a week, and I was running between kids in school, and them not realizing that I was working all day. I'd drop them off at school to pick them up at the end of the day, and they had no clue. But QuickBooks Online came along, and it changed my life. I could sit at the comfort of my kitchen counter, and I could go to my kids' events and not miss out on anything, and I would have all my work done. So what we're looking at here right now, this is, for some reason, all these businesses, they love to show examples of landscaping businesses, maybe because it covers all bases. But this is Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. And what we're looking at here right now, this is called the dashboard. Okay, this is a picture of your business, just a snapshot. Okay, you could see, you could set up payments, you could send your invoices, you could swipe credit cards, you could add customers, you can make estimates for jobs, and then if they agree with the estimates, you can create invoices out of them. Then you go and you receive payments. Okay, so this is just how to get things done. And then this business overview button, this gives you a quick snapshot of your business. Your invoices, what kind of expenses you have for the last 30 days, right now, what's your profit and loss. And then over here, your bank accounts. Excuse me. These are at least three or four accounts here. Set them up to link with your bank, because then all your transactions are going to be downloaded to your QuickBooks plan. Like I was telling Tikwa earlier, I said it made so much sense. I mean, her accountant said to get all your expenses from your credit cards. You know what? They just got downloaded from the great world and invention of the internet. And you're going to see that all the transactions will be on QuickBooks. So this is just a snapshot of your business. And say if you're working somewhere and you don't want someone to see your business, you click on this privacy button, and voila, they can't see any of your information. So a couple of things to talk about here. This is, I guess this is kind of like your toolbar. First this is your dashboard, what you were just looking at. Let's unprivatize that so it looks a little prettier. Okay, and like that will give you the snapshot of your business. Next, you're going to be going to banking. Okay, here you have your bank connection is all set up, so they're telling you could set it up. I'm going to X out of that right now. Here you're seeing your checkbook here. This is what your balance is in QuickBooks. So we have to get this balance to make sure they're in agreement. Here's a savings account, and here's a credit card account. So all these transactions below here are all downloaded transactions. These have not hit your checkbook yet. Okay, so if you agree that this expense by Books by Bessie, this is money received. So this is income that came in. Of course, that's not the right category for your income. So you want to go in and you want to pick out whatever the income is. Maybe it was just pest control. I don't know whatever service you did. Okay, and then you hit add. Now that income is going to go into your check register. Okay, so from this point, we're going to go to your bank register. Okay, and this looks just like your checkbook. Would you agree? If you had a check register, I'm sorry about this. If you had a check register, This is what it looks like. Here's your deposits. There's your balance. There's the next on the 28th, you had credit card. You paid a credit card bill. That's $900. Next, you had a nursery. You bought some product from the nursery. That's a payment, so that's reducing your bank balance. Okay, so that's just your banking. Here you have expenses. Oh, it's not working. Here you have your expenses. Okay, and this is where you're also going to see your vendors. Everyone that sends you a bill that you buy product from, you're going to see all your vendors in here. Okay, and then when I said expenses, you're going to see the different type of transactions and what kind of expenses that you charged. Okay, sales, just a quick overview. Okay, you're seeing what your invoices were. You want to set up everything online, like we said here. You can get paid anywhere. You could send the invoices and they'll pay you. In your sales, you're going to set up your first of all, you're going to set up your customers. Okay, you want to see who your customers are, and you want to create a whole file for them. So this is where you're going to be setting up the file. Have Amy's Bird Sanctuary. In her file here, if they set it up correctly, you're going to have Amy's name. You're going to have Amy's business name. Then how do you want it displayed on invoices and whatnot? You have the address. You need people's emails, especially for customers. You want their emails because this way you could email their invoices to them so you can get paid. Your phone number, that's just the basic information. Then you can put notes in. Then your tax information, if they're tax exempt, you can put that in. Payment and billing, the preferred method of payment, it could be a credit card, cash, check, whatever. Language, that's, depends on what country in, I guess you could pick whatever languages you have, lots of them. QuickBooks is worldwide. Attachments, like say if you wanted their W-9, or not W-9, any kind of information from them that you will put back here. And then additional information, that's any other, like if you have a certain kind of type of a customer, you would put them in there. Say if one's just for consultation, say if one is for instruction, whatever your business is. Okay, so sales. Then you have invoices. Okay, and these are all the invoices that you created in the past, year or so. Okay, and it tells you when you did it, what the invoice number is, who the customer was, how much it was, and is it overdue. You could click here to receive payments. You could view it. You could send a reminder if they didn't do it. If they sent you money, say they sent you a check, then you would put in how they paid you. If it's credit card, they may have done it online or they gave you the information, you could put it in, and then you would check off that this invoice is paid. And save and close that. Okay, and it does look kind of pretty too, right? Gonna X out of that. Okay, so projects, say if you're in a construction business or something, you may have a project and you want to assign, certain projects to your invoices. Say if you say if you're an apartment complex, this is a landscaping business, and say the apartment complex has 5 different locations. So you may have ABC Apartments as the customer, but then they may have other jobs like Ravine Drive, okay? May have Matawan Ave. They may have Main Street. Those are different places for apartment complexes. So then you could calculate invoices based on what you did at those locations. But then any expenses you have, you could also put towards those jobs and locations. Here's payroll. If you have payroll, QuickBooks has a payroll service. There are less expensive, especially if you have a small business. But there's a lot of good things out there. Just want to make sure you price it right and you get the information you need. Time, if you keep time entries like a time clock, that's more related to like your payroll. Your reports, big area, everybody. These are reports that you're going to need for your accountants. You see which ones show up in your favorites? Your accounts receivables. You want to look at your accounts receivables regularly because you want to see who owes you money. And then if they're not paying you, you got to give them a call because they're busy. They may have just forgotten it, and they may have forgotten it on purpose. You know, you have a lot of customers like that. But this way, you know that you're on track, what money's supposed to be coming in, and what you should be receiving, and when it's going to be coming in. Your balance sheet is pretty much a snapshot of your business. Okay, it's telling you what your assets are. Remember we talked about Alice? Here's your assets. You have your bank accounts. You have accounts receivable. Accounts receivable are monies you're expecting to receive. Okay, you have other current assets such as your inventory assets. Undeposited funds, that's a whole other conversation. That's a function of QuickBooks, which I happen to like, but not everybody's thrilled about it. But I think it helps out, yeah, with organization. Here's another fixed asset. You have a truck. Say if you have a truck, you have computers, you have your copy machine, whatever you have. You know, may go into fixed expenses, fixed assets, depending on the cost and how much you put out. And here's the L for liabilities, okay? Liabilities, and in this case, it's equity. I had a C for capital, so it's liabilities and capital. Equity and capital are synonymous, the same thing. So here you have your current liabilities. Probably the biggest current liability that you're going to visit the most is your accounts payable. These are your vendors' invoices. This is the money that you have to pay out in the near future. Your credit cards. When you have charges that you did a credit on your credit card, there's a place to enter your credit card charges, and they're all going to land in this account for your credit cards. So here you use your credit card to buy gas. So you paid $65. Here you had hardware where you had to buy pieces for a job. You went to the nursery. You're a landscaping business. You're going to have trees. You're going to have flowers. You may have rocks. Here, some people have to use an excavator. So they're going to rent the equipment. They don't necessarily have to own it. They want to rent it, but it's an expense. You have advertising. You may have your telephone bill. All of these are charges that were on your credit card. And then you'll see down here, you had $1,023, but then you see here that you paid your credit card, so you only have $157 left. Just a quick look at that. Okay, go back to reports. Okay, so QuickBooks makes your balance sheet look very pretty and neat and organized. Does your balance sheet look this way? Here's other liabilities. It could be, these are sales tax. Okay, here's a loan. A notes payable, you borrow money from someone else. Notes payable is just another name for a loan. Equity, this is what you invested into your business. Maybe you put more money into it than you've made into it, you know, that you've made from the business. So right now you have a negative amount in there. That means that you've put a lot of money into it. These are your personal money that went into the account, into your business. Okay, another report, this is probably the one you're going to look at more often than none, is your profit and loss. Okay, we talked about the I in Alice. Here's your income. And depending on what your business is, you could break it down into different categories. Okay, you want to see designs. Maybe you design backyards. So you want to see how much money am I making in this area. Okay, here, you know, landscaping services. This is just a very small business at the time. This is their landscaping services. So they billed $877. Okay, you know, sometimes you want to see how big your business gets. Let's see if we could get last year's, the year before, and see what they have in that. So you can go back and look at last year's reports too. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, and then you hit run report. Okay, so here they're seeing that they had $600 of income. That's a very small business is showing you here. So go back to this year. Okay, on the report. Okay, Here you have your job materials. Okay. Here's installation. This is all different areas of income for you. So the total income for this time period is $8,481. But then you have expenses, okay? So you had expenses of $405 that go against your income. So it gives you your gross profit. That's they're associated with the jobs. But then here you have all your other businesses for your expenses for your business. You have your advertising expense. Don't we all have it? Everyone has it. If you're advertising on Facebook, all those little boosts, they're going to hit you up with a small fee, hopefully a small fee. Your automobile, you may have fuel. You may take fuel as your expense. You have equipment rental. You may have insurance, and you may have different types of insurance. Here's your job expense. You have job materials. You have decks and patios, different job materials. Here you have your legal expenses or professional fees, such as your accountant, your bookkeeper, your lawyer. You may have an engineer come in as a consultant. Repairs and maintenance. So these are all your business type of expenses. And here's your total income, total expenses. Okay, and then your net income. The net income is going to be your income less your expenses, and you're going to get your net income. In this case, the business had made some money. Here they some miscellaneous expenses. We would have to dig into that a little bit more and see what it is. But their net income ends up being $828. That's nice. They showed a profit. Okay, so that's a big report that the accountant wants to see from you. And then there's a whole bunch of other reports, and you can customize reports to see, to your liking, what are you trying to get, what information. 1099s, if you use subcontractors, you need to issue 1099s for people that charge $600 or more, that you pay $600 or more, okay, throughout the year, not at a one-time shot, okay. Your taxes, you're going to deal more with your accountant on that. If you track your miles, they give you another place to track your miles. And then the accountant here, the chart of accounts. Chart of accounts, let's see your chart of accounts. Let's see if we go there, okay? On your chart of accounts, this is every single account that your business is using. Some of them you use all the time. Some you may never use at all. If you don't use them, we could always make them inactive and not see it. But you could see what your balances are. Here's your account names. What type of an account? A bank, that's going to be an asset. Accounts receivable is going to be an asset. Here's all the assets. They group them together where they're going to show up on your financials. Okay? So you could run a report on each of these items at any given time, and it could show you how much you're spending, who, gives you more detail all in one report. Okay, my accountant, your accountant can also link into your QuickBooks as long as you give them permission, and they could run the reports they need at any given time, and you could still keep going on with your business. If they need to make adjustments, they can make adjustments. And it's like in the old days, you would have to do a backup of QuickBooks, send it to your accountant. Then you would have to wait. You have to wait. Sometimes your accountants are so busy, you'd have to wait 2 months before you get the information back from your accountant. Now you have 2 months of work that you have to re-input, get billed, enter cash to get your books up to date. QuickBooks Online will eliminate a lot of that. So like I showed you with the dashboard, okay, well, you'll find with QuickBooks, you could do things in many different areas, okay? So like I showed you with the dashboard, this is basically giving you an overview of your business. If you click on New, okay, and if you use QuickBooks Desktop, this is where it's going to look similar to you. Okay, here's your customers. Everything that has to do with customers is your invoices, okay? This is where you're going to create your invoice. You go and you create your invoice. You're going to put your client in here. You could do a drop down and find them and do Diego Rodriguez. Here's Diego. Look at that. His email popped up. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. This is your terms are net 30. The money's due in 30 days. So the invoice date is today and it's due by April 11th, you could put in your products and services here. You will create a list of different products and services, and every one of those products and services are going to be attached to an expense or an income account from your chart of accounts. So here, we're going to design a garden. We're going to design a backyard. So here you put in design. Here's the description is custom design. You could add information to this. You could put pavers. Oops, if I can type right. You can put pavers. You could always change this description field. Okay. The quantity. So now you're getting 15 pavers in there, and you're charging $100 each. So it was $75. You could always change that. Now the job is $1,500. Okay. And if you maybe want to give them a discount, let's see if they give it to you. Then you want to do 10%. Nope. I want to do 10%, the whole number. So it's going to give them a discount of $150. Okay. Then you would hit save and send. I don't know what's going to go here, but save and send. And now here's the body of your email. You're going to create the body and put whatever information you want in here. So they see that it's coming from Craig's Design and Landscaping or your business. The subject is an invoice from your business. Then you're going to put Dear Diego, whoever's name is in their file, and then attaches your invoice. So they're going to see documents similar to this, which is your invoice, how nice and pretty it looks, right? Instead of writing it down on a yellow piece of paper, here you have who the invoice is from, which is your business, who it's being paid to, which is sent to is Diego. Then over here is going to give you your invoice number, the invoice date, the invoice due date, and what your terms are. Okay, and then it tells you your design. It was custom design. We did pavers. We did 15 of them at $100. It was $1,500. Then they also could see the discounts. Then you would hit save and close. Okay, very cool. Now it's done. You hit save and close. Don't know where it's going, but it went. This time, with your business, you'll know exactly where it's going. Okay, so then we're going to X out of there, and we have an invoice in his file for $1,350. Okay, I'm going to see if on sales, let me go to customer, if maybe on Amy's, okay, they have an invoice here. I'm going to click on the invoice. At the bottom of the invoice, this isn't set up for that. At the bottom of the invoice, normally, after you send out an email, it's going to be tracking at the bottom. It'll tell you that they opened it, how many times they opened it, and you could, if you have to resend it, it tells you how many times you resent it and the date, and then it'll tell you when it was paid as well. Okay, so I'm going back to what I consider kind of like a dashboard. So you have your invoice, then you can receive your payments. So we're going to go to Diego, is that his name? Diego Rodriguez. Okay, he has one invoice, the one we created. So he paid. He paid with a check. The check number was 2020, and it's going to go to this undeposited funds account, which is a QuickBook account, but I find it's a very interesting account if you receive payments throughout the week and you don't get to the bank to the end of the week. So you want to input the check saying that you received their payment on a timely basis, okay? And then you don't get to the bank till Friday. Say that's Monday, and then you collect 5 other checks. So now you have 5 checks. Now they're all been said they're paid in the account, but you're not depositing to Friday. So when it comes to depositing them, you're going to go to bank deposits. I'll show you that in a second. And save and close. I'm going to click this amount. Gives you $1,350. I'm going to hit save and close. That is paid. Okay, and I'm going to get out of here. Okay. Now, if I go to the bank, I'll go up here. I'll go to here. I'm going to go to other. I'm going to go to bank deposit. Okay, and so we received money from Cool Cars, Diego, Freeman. So this dollar amount here, this should equal what your deposit slip is for the bank. Then you hit save. You have the date that it's being deposited. You know it's going to your checking account, and you hit save, and we're going to hit close. So now that went into your checking account. Okay, let's go back to customers here. So then you have credit memo estimates. Say if you have a job and you give them an estimate, you can create an estimate, and if they accept it, you can just convert that directly right into an invoice without even retyping everything and entering in all the information. A credit memo, if you have to give them a refund, you issue them a credit memo, and then if the bill is $1,000 and the credit memo is for $200, they're only going to pay you $800. So you have that all tracked. Okay. Sales receipt, say if somebody buys, like you work at a car wash and someone pays on the fly. They're going to pay when they come up. You want to give them a sales receipt. You don't want to set up a whole new customer for them because they're a one-time customer. So you hit a sales receipt. You're going to put, I'm going to say it's Dylan. I don't know who Dylan is. You're going to put their email in just to get them on your mailing list, which is really important. Okay. And then you would just put in, let's see what the service is here. We're going to do concrete. You did concrete quick. He paid you $100. Okay. And you hit save, and you could hit close, or you could send them the receipt. Most people like to have a receipt, so you could send them a receipt. But let's just go save and close. Okay. So that's a sales receipt. Like I said, there might be a one-hit wonder. You'll never see them again in your life, but they created income for you, which is a beautiful thing. Okay. Refund, you could issue a refund that way too. Delayed credit, delayed charge. You don't usually use it that often. Your vendors are who sends you bills. You're going to have expenses related to that. You're going to have checks if you just want to write a check out. Okay, it's going to Books by Bessie, check-in. You happen to be in the store and you bought, I guess she's a bookkeeper, and you want to pay her on the fly. You're paying her $55. You hit save and close. Now that check is in your check register. Okay, we're going to get out of there. I don't want to overwhelm you. There's some programs that we could set up, so you can get a better understanding of QuickBooks. Okay, a bill, you're going to enter a bill when someone sends you a bill, and you're going to put the vendor in. You're going to put it's your telephone, and you could set it up that automatically you know that it's going to be a telephone expense. And here, if that's a recurrent amount, you can put that amount in, and that's there. Okay, and you could hit save and schedule payment, and you could hit save and close. Okay. Oh, wrong one, that's one. Okay, next, and you could print checks. If you print checks, you can go here and you can print your checks, and QuickBooks you could buy checks, different kinds, and then you print them, and voila, it's recorded in your check register. Okay. Your employees, if you have payroll, this is a good place for payroll you could set up. Like I said, there's other third-party payroll services which are just as good, and the price, if you want to keep your price down, you can get them cheaper. Here's your bank deposit. If you transfer money from your check into your savings, you would use this. Journal entries at the end of the year. Your accountant's going to say, well, you need to book some things differently, so you're going to create a journal entry. A statement, if you want to send somebody a statement, okay, you could send a statement to everybody at one time. It's going to go to their emails. Or say if you just want to remind Jeff here, you have money to send to get to me, so you save and you send that to Jeff. Okay, and it's going to send a nice little email. It's going to show a statement of all your open invoices, and you hit send. It's just a reminder. You don't want to be a nuisance, but it's a reminder. You did the business for them. You did the work for them. You want to collect your money. That's why you do the business. You want to collect your money. Okay. Inventory, if you have inventory, you put your adjustments in there, and then if you want to pay down your credit card, you pay that down there. Other places that you can look at or other tools. Here's your account settings. This is where you would set up your business. Okay, here's your company name. If you know what your tax form is that you use, if you're a partnership, like a 1065, not 1040, talk to your accountant on that. They'll advise you properly. You put in your company's email, you put in your address. You want people to find you. Believe it or not, you want people to find you. That's why you're in business. The more they know about you, the better. Okay, your usage, it's telling you, where you're using, how many people are using it, and if you have more room. If you need to up your subscription with QuickBooks Online, this is where they're kind of reminding you what your limits are and what aren't. Your sales, they're telling you how you set up your sales. Your terms are net 30, have custom fields. You could put tags on there too. And this is just showing you anything for your sales. For your expenses, they're showing you could do purchase orders. You could track your expenses by customers. You can make your expenses billable. Say if you did work for Amy but you were doing work for somebody else, okay? Somebody else contracted you out to do the work for Amy, so you're billing Amy on behalf of that customer, but then you could also go and bill the person who contracted out to you too. A little complicated, but we can get to that later. So basically, that is an overview of for QuickBooks. I'm going to share another screen with you. And I just wanted to talk about, you guys entered my session today, and I promised you that oh, did I lose you? Hope I didn't lose you. Okay, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong screen. To go back to Sharon, I want to share my screen. Okay. So I promised you guys a nice surprise if you do come to my session. I'm going to send you a link of QuickBooks, Intuit QuickBooks for free. It'll be a basic version, but, give you a feel on how QuickBooks works. Okay. For the conference, I gave you the free QuickBooks. And if you were at my presentation, you also were able to get a free basic business checklist, so to help you keep your business in order. But for the conference, for the rates I offer services like business evaluation. For a regular, normally I charge $200 for that. At a conference rate, I'm going to offer it to you for $150. This way I could take some time, get the information from you, like all your bank statements, maybe prior tax returns, and I could evaluate where, if and what services might be good for you. You could do it yourself. I have a one-time training on how to set up your QuickBooks. Conference rate for an individual, it'll be $400, but I have a special promotion for the conference only, believe me. It's a group rate, great deal. Your group needs to be a minimum of 3 people to a maximum of 5 people. You take that group rate of 500, divide it amongst yourselves, and we're going to have a couple of hours of training. I could do it with you. You do your monthly bookkeeping. I meet with you quarterly to reconcile your book. Regularly, I'll charge $500, but for the conference price, I'm offering it for $400. And then do it for you. Hire me. I'm going to help you. My goal is to make your life easier. You know, my rates start at $300 a month. Depends on the size of your business. Okay. It may be more. But with the conference, because of the conference, I'm going to give you 20% off the monthly rate that we agree on. So if you want the free QuickBooks, please send an email to rhaber43@gmail.com and put free QuickBooks in the subject line. Get it today while it's still available. So the free checklist, you sign up at the presentation, rhaber43@gmail.com, and subject is checklist. The free QuickBooks is sign up at the session, GinaHaber43@gmail.com. The subject is free QuickBooks. I want to thank you. Tigua, great job. And any more information, just chat me up and I'll answer whatever I can for you. I'm going to stop sharing, I think. Oh, here I go. Any questions?